Our episode starts with a voiceover of Victoria Winters describing the situation going on as we see Daphne being treated by Dr. Huffman. Professor Michael comes in and asks Daphne to wear a cross that night, which she agrees to. Daphne asks Joe to promise her that they'd be together forever, which is totally not foreshadowing, and they kiss. Meanwhile, Michael and Julia talk about his suspicions of what's going on. Michael points out that everything started to happen once Barnabas came to town, including Daphne sleepwalking. That night, Joe switches places with a policeman to watch over Daphne. We then see Barnabas outside her room fanging out. Daphne wakes up in a trance, pulls the cross off of herself, and walks outside to Barnabas. She pulls off her bandage and allows him to feed on her. When Joe wakes up, he notices Daphne is gone. He and the cops head outside and find her bloody body on a fence. We then fast forward to her super rainy funeral. Back with Julia, she's analyzing Daphne's last blood sample. Michael walks in and asks her if she believes in the existence of vampires. Julia mentions if vampires are real, then they could be curable considering the success she was having with Daphne. Outside the grounds, young David is doing creepy kid in horror movie carols before he realizes it's getting late and he should head back. As he runs, he starts to hear Daphne's voice. She then appears to him and tries to call him over to her. As she gets closer, he sees her yellow eyes and fangs and she lunges at him, but he runs. He arrives back at the house, panicking and telling everyone that he saw Daphne. Michael, suspecting the vampire situation, listens to him, while Joe gets upset and tells him it's in his imagination. Michael tries to tell Joe to be careful without outright stating why. David gets sent off with Victoria, and once he's gone, Michael lets everyone know that he believes Daphne is a vampire, which annoys everyone, who then leaves. His last warning is to Joe, saying that Daphne will probably come after him first. We then see Joe head to Daphne's crypt. When he gets downstairs, he finds her marker, but turns around and is met by her. She seduces him and then bites him.
We're gonna be together in a world without end.
Next, we see him getting a blood transfusion and Julia giving him medication while the rest watch. Michael walks in and tells them that there is now a curfew where no one can be out after dark now that they know that vampires are real. At the bar, Maggie sees the death card on Otero's and tells her dad that someone else will die. Sam blows it off as superstition. That's when Roger shows up and asks Maggie to come with him because Caroline wants to see her. We then see that's a lie and Maggie and Roger sleep together instead. After, Maggie then tells Roger that she too suspects a vampire. Barnabas then returns and pretends that he was out of town during the Daphne saga. They catch him up regarding the situation, and in a very gold conversation, Julia makes it known that how Daphne got that way is a question that needs to be answered. Back with Joe, he wakes up and sneaks out of the house. He heads to an attic space where Daphne is waiting for him, and she once again bites him. This time, the police arrive and catch her in the act as she makes noise while they're looking. Joe tries to protect her, but they remove him, hold her down, and Michael then stakes her in the heart. She confesses her love for Joe before dying, again. This very memorable scene is a shot-by-shot remake of the scene from the film House of Dark Shadows, with the main difference being that it was Caroline who turns and not Daphne. Back with Julia, we hear her through a voiceover state that she's going to confront Barnabas at sunset. When she gets there, she's confronted by the caretaker Willie, who tries to get her to leave. It doesn't work, and she pushes through where she finds his coffin and confronts him with a cross. He cowers and begs her to put the cross down, promising not to hurt her, so she does. Barnabas reprimands Willie and then sits down and talks to Julia. Julia tells Barnabas that she can help him. She then informs him of a cell she found in his victims that if she can make dormant, can give him a normal life. He doesn't believe it, but tells her how much he would want that. She convinces him, and the episode ends with him asking her when they should begin. Thanks for watching. If you like these recaps, please leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to know every time I update. There is now an option to be a channel member where you'll get access to exclusive recaps from late night vampire catalogs like Showtime, Cinemax After Dark, USA Up All Night, and much more. If you want to help my channel grow, please check out my Patreon, where members can get exclusive content that can't be uploaded on YouTube, along with download options. Link is in the description.